Hello and welcome to another Windows 8 tutorial by the Tech Ambassadors. Today I'm going to show you an overlooked feature about the Windows platform, and we're talking about this right here, the Task Manager. But this is Windows 8. We're not looking at this Windows 7 one anymore. We got a cooler one. This one's gone, so we can just delete that. Now we have the Windows 8 Task Manager. You can get there a number of ways. My favorite is just by right-clicking on the bar here and hitting Task Manager, and you get this little thing right here. Well, this is quite simple, and main thing you can do is just end task, stuff like that. But no, we're not going to do that. We want more details. And then if you do that, you get all this cool information. And it separates it into multiple categories so it's easy to see. I'll make it bigger. So you can see what I have running here. And this is the foreground, your apps. So if I open up Google Chrome, for example, it shows up there. And I can just click on that and hit End Task to close it, like you do in previous versions. Then in the background processes, you have all sorts of other stuff. For example, communication service, that's for email. Oops, I didn't mean to right click. If you end that, you won't receive any more emails until that's rebooted. Then you get all this other stuff, graphics, cards, but most of the stuff you don't even need to worry about. Excuse me. You can keep on going down, and there's Windows processes. You shouldn't even need to worry about this. This is just for running Windows. Now if you notice, there's multiple tabs up here, and they're pretty self-explanatory. CPU is how much it's using of your CPU, obviously. RAM, disk, and network. Disk means that it's writing onto your hard drive. So if we go over to the Performance tab, you can see all of that stuff. So here's my disk right now. I can see that it is being it's active and it's writing on there because I'm taking a video, and there's a couple, maybe 1, 2, or even 3 or 4 or more disks over here. Disk 0 is your main hard drive, and it shows you the extension right there, which is C. Disk 1 for me is my my disk drive, so I can stick a CD in or a DVD. That will be that one. It's not used that much. It won't show you anything there unless you have a disk in. Disk 2 is my external hard drive right now, and I'm not using it, so the disk rate's very low. CPU is shown here, and you can see more information about your CPU down at the bottom, or the speed it's going. That's kind of funny, considering that my maximum is 230. Anyway, and memory over here, it shows, hold on a minute. Alright, sorry, I had a phone call there. Anyway, if you want to do more research on all this stuff like committed, cached, paged pool, non-paged pool, or any other thing, just go ahead and look it up. I don't want to waste people's time that don't want to learn about that. But in use and available is pretty self-explanatory for your RAM. Available is basically taking your total and minusing or subtracting the in use, or vice versa, to get that number. Down we have Bluetooth, which is not connected currently, and then Wi-Fi. It shows you sending and receiving of data. So I don't know why you'd want to, but maybe you want to, if you're downloading something, be awed by the graphs going up and down for your usage. And then Ethernet is basically the same thing as Wi-Fi, except it's when you are plugged in. Alright, so the next thing is app history, and this I don't know much about. but it looks like it's all apps from your start menu, all these apps, and it'll just show you what it's using at the time. So you can see the only thing I have open right now is my mail, and it's been using the CPU for that amount of time, and it's sent and received that many megabytes over the network. And I don't have a metered network. That's if you're using a mobile hotspot or something like that for a cell phone, then it would show up there. But in your settings, you should probably turn that off so you don't. It is default off, but you should make sure that's off so you don't go over your data limit on anything. So startup, you can see things on startup here. You can see your last BIOS time, and then it'll show you the start impact. So if you have something that says high, for example this, I don't know what it is, but I think it's important. It'll increase the amount of time that you have to wait for your computer to start up. So the more that you have disabled, the faster your computer will start up. Users, that's me right there. Shows just basically the overview that we saw over here, but if you have multiple users on the same computer, you could see how much they are using of the computer. Details, this is all the processes and applications and the description of that app with the memory and CPU that they are running on and using. And then services is basically the Windows services that we saw, and then again you probably won't need to come over here unless you're troubleshooting something, and I've never had to come over here before. One last thing before I sign off here is on the performance tab you'll see an Open Resource Monitor button. If you click that, you'll get this window will pop up, and a good tab is the memory, so you can see here your RAM and what's been modified and what's in use and hardware reserved. I'm still a little bit unclear on standby and free, but mainly standby is stuff that's it's ready to use, and it's good, but I don't know much about it. I just know the in use is what is being used, and modified is stuff that is stored on your RAM waiting to be written to the hard drive. And then you can explore this later, but there's plenty of information across here. Then you can see the overview and move these arrows to bring them down. So that is the new Windows 8 Task Manager. I hope you enjoyed the video and found it useful. And this is EP Tech Ambassadors signing off.